everybody. Welcome to the New Year's Sean's Medley of Madness. What are you laughing at? It's supposed to be good.
Immediately blows out the microphone.
Straight away.
Yeah, straight away. That's how we start. Like that's the goal. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, podcast world. Hello, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts,
Wherever you get your potty.
Pirate Bay, whatever.
SoundCloud.
I hope we're on
I hope someone's like torrenting this because that legitimizes the efforts required for this podcast.
And then we can do a DMCA takedown on them and get some money.
So welcome. Hello, everybody. Hello, Aaron. Hello, John. How are you?
Happy New Year, Sean.
Happy New Year to you guys.
Everybody.
Everybody in
No, just Sean.
Just me? Oh, okay. Screw everybody else in the metaverse that's listening to this. Today is all ad-libbed. For those that are already a little bit confused by the change in format, today is a...
Why is he doing this?
don't
It's
know.
our podcast.
Well, it's my episode. Fine. You do the introduction.
Much like our worst performing episode, the Maths Boys.
Yeah. So New Year's is a busy time. And so John and myself have not had time to get an episode ready. So Sean has helpfully jumped in with a new podcast idea, which is just to go, hey, what if 38 topics? So we're going to quick fire them. It's a new format that we're trying out. So let's see how it goes.
Big problem with this being that, unfortunately, I came up with this idea, planned it all out, and then heard Donut Media's damn podcast episode where they did all of the idiot ideas from the mailbag. I'm like, crap.
Yeah, they did an episode where they're like, hey, all of the terrible ideas that you gave us, we're just going to do them. So it was an episode basically exactly like this.
Okay.
So the idea today, guys, is I'm going to give you a topic. I'm going to give one of you a topic, and then you have 5 minutes to tell the other person as much as you possibly can
Oh, no.
about that topic.
Why does it feel like I'm back in high school and I'm about to sit a pop quiz?
Now, because I've tried to pick things that you should know about, but if there's anything that you are absolutely completely flummoxed on, the reason you've got your phones is I will give you an extremely hot 30 seconds of cram it up your cram hole time. Why not? Because we're wearing
take our pants off?
It's because we're wearing bucket hats. The heat is being trapped.
Oh, yeah. Something that nobody will know listening to this is we're all wearing like felt bright coloured bucket hats.
Terry towel bucket hats specifically.
They went for the cricket from the last episode.
Yeah.
We mentioned the cricket last episode. Sean bought bucket hats and they never showed up on time.
No, they did not. It was
but they're here now.
the greatest disappointment of the Saturday. So I'm going to give a series of topics. They're divided into 4 categories today, which is my favourite thing.
You should listen. He's very proud of this.
So we're going to have a few different topics, but of the 4 categories we have...
Shout out to Adam for title subjects. He likes his titles.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, that came from Adam.
That's kind of where it came from. So it's divided into ancient history, modern mystery, sporting wonders, and last but not least, but my favourite one is Aaron's blunders.
I'm not happy with the last one.
I'm so excited about Aaron's blunders. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Being done under duress.
Under duress.
I feel like I'm the one taking a test. I'm freaking out.
We're both doing it.
Yeah, I know.
All right. First up, I think we're going to go with John first up. Oh, it's going to be good.
I'm doing Aaron's blunders for sure.
All right. John, you're up first. Yeah, my stupid sound. That was
So there's another thing we need to mention. Sean would like to do some sound effects in this one. So you may hear some out of context.
I have no idea what that
poorly
was. That was just distortion.
It was pure distortion of Mum Get the Camera. I'm very excited.
Okay.
Who knows? This might not work at all, but you never know. We'll
The
see.
best soundboards need to be explained.
Yeah. And for any really, really strange sounds that don't even sound like they should be in the soundboard, that is because I am not paying $1.20 to remove the ads from this soundboard.
If it bothers you that there's ads on the soundboard, you can easily just sponsor us.
Sponsor us for
Just
$1.
sponsor
What?
us, please.
$1.20?
No, more than that.
More than that.
Oh, sorry.
All right. First
doing?
up on the list,
Soundboard
John.
for each of us.
First up on the list. That's the wrong noise. I thought that was going to be a drum roll. That's even worse.
What is happening?
Oh, no.
What is happening?
Yep. That's my brain.
That's our brains.
Why did it play twice?
Because $1.19, that's why. Anyway. John,
Yes.
you have, let's go 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The timer will start when you start talking to tell Aaron and the podcast world everything you know about the Trojan horse. Go.
The actual Trojan horse, or has this got anything to do with Aaron?
The history, the Trojan horse incident.
Oh, okay.
Aaron's blunders is at the end.
Right. Okay. But didn't I choose that topic?
No.
No.
That's not how
okay.
this works.
Sorry,
Did
I
you
thought-
listen at all?
He said there's 4 topics. I thought we were choosing.
This is counting as part of
15
your time.
seconds is
I
down.
thought we were choosing the topic.
No,
Okay.
I choose the topic.
The Trojan horse was between the Greeks and Troy.
Yep.
They were fighting, and much like one of our previous episodes, the Battle of Alesia, they had an indefensible. The people of Troy
Yep.
had a very well fortified castle. So to get inside
I think it was a walled city.
a walled city, they had good defenses. So they built a giant horse, hid soldiers inside, and gifted it to them. The people of Troy brought it in. The soldiers jumped out, murdered everyone.
I thought they waited till they got all drunk at night.
Yeah, they did. They waited at night and got drunk, and then they jumped out and murdered everyone.
Everything works best when your opponent is
And
drunk.
Brad Pitt looked excellent in the movie, and so did Eric Bana.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Eric Bana. Famously from a great country.
Great country. Produces Terry Towling hats.
They're pretty comfy.
They are very comfy. 70s cricket players did really well.
We should get a photo and put it
So
on
I'm
the
under 3
socials.
minutes, right?
You're still under 3 minutes.
Do I need to say anything else?
Have you got anything else that you can add?
No.
Not bad. That's a minute and 29 seconds, including 15 seconds of screwing around. So that's not too bad. Well done to
That's
everybody.
the story of Troy,
Good job.
There
of
we
the
go.
Trojan horse.
Story of Troy and the Trojan horse.
By
All
the
right.
way,
I don't.
Just
was it the
before we
Greeks?
move on.
It was the Greeks, right?
seeing as this is a mixed bag episode, whatever, did you see the guy on Twitter that ripped us for having a photo that wasn't necessarily from the Christmas truce?
No.
There was a guy, as soon as we put the photos up, basically within like 2 hours, somebody replied and was like, that photo of soldiers playing football has nothing to do with the truce. Maybe check your stuff. And like a hashtag and a link to like this like fact-checking organization.
Well,
It's the first time we've been smacked down publicly.
well, it wasn't me.
The photos of the
Was it
football
on?
players.
Was it on
Well, tell that to
Instagram?
Wikipedia, mate, because that's where it come from.
Did he say that on Instagram?
On Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter.
Or, no, actually,
Twitter.
sorry. The photo didn't come from Wikipedia. I think it actually come from history.com. Take it up with them.
Cool.
Cool. Wow, that's crazy. All right.
Yeah, here it is. Steve Smith. The image of soldiers playing football has nothing to do with the Christmas truce. And then a link to his own tweet about Duff history and how there's inaccuracies in the reporting about the Christmas truce.
Well, the whole.
well, I'm sorry. If you had listened to the
if you
goddamn
listen to the
episode, I said that.
That's kind of the point. Like you talked about, you guys talked about in the podcast that there is no photos of actual football playing. The photo is there for reference of soldiers playing football. So Steve Smith, go worry about where you.
How about you go back to scoring centuries on
Yeah.
Boxing Day, champ?
go back to working out you are in the batting lineup and
It's not that Steve Smith.
how you're going to get away with cheating in cricket. Like, just go start worrying
Oh,
about
Go
that.
back to fixing your gloves every 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's what we need.
We are paying out on a man who has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, completely unrelated.
Just happens to share the
Completely
same name.
unrelated. Yeah. Okay. Next topic. Let's go, Aaron. You've got. Let's go. You've got 45 seconds to try and explain to John everything that you know about the story of Moses and the Israelites.
Yeah,
Go.
so Moses and the Israelites, they were all a bit pissy about being slaves. And so Moses is like, hey, I've been told by a burning bush that it's time we get us out of here. So he goes up to Pharaoh and he's like, hey, how about you let us out? Pharaoh's like, maybe not. And so he's like, but what if I ask nicely? He's like, maybe not. And so then he's like, all right, well, God's going to smack you lot down with some plagues and stuff, right? Here's some frogs. Here's all your firstborns dead. Here's some other stuff as well. And eventually Pharaoh's like, oh, man, oh, geez. I guess I should have just let him out when he asked nicely.
How
Maybe.
big is your brain? By the end of this game,
Yeah, soundboard ad.
the objective of this puzzle.
Oh, there's two.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I think your time's up is what Sean's getting at.
No, I'm close. So then they let him out, and then he's like, "Oh, actually, hang on, who's going to build all my pyramids and stuff?" And so then he's like, "Oh, hey, go
How-
get him
how old
back,
is-
Sean." And
How
then,
old is your brain?
And then
That's terrible.
they chase them to the water, and Moses is like, "Oh man, there's a sea in the way," and God's like, "Hey, put that stick down, the water will bloody split." And then they all run past all the fish that got really dehomed by that, and then on the other side, and then the Egyptians went in the sea, and the water came in and got them. Done. And then they spent like years in the desert,
How many years?
40 years.
roundabout. Not bad. Not bad. I'll let you go overtime because I awarded you
I think I just got under
It's-
time.
Well, because of the ads, I awarded you a further 9,000 minutes of extra time.
I think I just got under the 45-second cap.
Just under it. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Right. John's up next for the next topic. We've got the story of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
Gee, I'm glad you got that one.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it.
It's fairly mythological. It's
Yeah,
a good
King
one.
Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Merlin was in there too. He prophesied the King of England would pull the sword out of the stone.
What's the name of the sword?
Excalibur.
Oh, yes.
Pulled it out, became the king, assembled his knights. What was his best mates? So Lancelot was his second in charge.
Is this all the one story?
Yeah.
Oh.
Second in charge, and they fought against, I want to say it was almost Gauls they fought against.
Mm-hmm.
And they, were under attack by Gauls. Wasn't his, didn't he take his bride? I can't think of her name, but she was a Gaul, wasn't she, or something along those lines?
Definitely wasn't Sharon.
It definitely wasn't Sharon. He did lead. He was the leader against the Saxon invasion of
Saxon invasion.
Ah, the French.
Mm.
And he pretty much it. He was a warrior king who supposedly had the help of a wizard, Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
You're a wizard, Merlin.
And he defended England against the Saxons.
Mm-hmm.
What was his missus' name?
It was Gwendolyn. I'm now.
That's it,
Gwendolyn. Yeah,
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn and
Gwyneth Paltrow.
And she was a Saxon.
yeah, and then there was Genevieve as well.
Genevieve.
Or
No, I think I'm thinking of Genevieve as the Saxon.
and that was Sir Lancelot's lady.
That could have just been from the movie as well. I'm pretty sure that's in the movie.
Possibly, it is. It's proper folklore.
Uh-oh.
it's
Our fact
folklore.
checkers checking movies for facts.
Oh yeah, it's purely from the 2017 film as well. Like recently, there was 2004 was the film. 2017 was something else entirely,
Okay, let me pose.
and then Monty Python.
I watched a movie the other night. Since we're on movies,
Mhm.
I watched a movie the other night based on one of the games I'm playing at the moment. I'm playing Marvel's Midnight Suns. Ghost Rider is in the game. So I went, I'm going to go back and watch the Nick Cage Ghost Rider movie. What year did that come out?
90s?
No, 2004.
You say 90s?
I want to say it was like 99.
I'm going 2004.
2007.
Wow,
That's not that long ago.
No,
And then there was a
That's way
sequel
more
just a
recent.
couple of years afterwards as well. I'm like, that's so recent.
that's too
Wow.
recent. I mean, Nick Cave.
Nick Cave, the singer.
Nick Cave, yeah, the musician. Looks nothing like him. Sounds nothing like him, but yeah, Nicolas Cage was in so much in that period.
I know. I just couldn't believe it wasn't 2007 doesn't feel that long ago.
No,
15
no.
years, but
But in reality, 15 years. That's an
Yeah.
entire like child schooling.
I'm going to have to go
years.
back and see when the Blade movies come out because I feel like they were in the late 90s as well, but they're probably 2003, 2004 as well.
They feel late 90s to me, the Blade movies. They're bloody excellent.
Yeah.
All right, last topic for ancient history, and this one specifically for Aaron. You got to tell John the story of Sean versus Aaron at the 2009 cross country.
This is a story of
Ancient
theft.
history. I'm sure this has come up before as well, hasn't it?
I'm sure that you've heard this story because it's one of my least favorite stories. So I am I'm probably the fittest guy that's ever lived, right?
Of course.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
How much are you still drunk from last night?
I actually have not had that much to drink in the last 2 days. So for our whole schooling time, I would beat Sean thoroughly at cross country. And so we get to year 12. And of course, I want to get that clean slate, 12-0. Sean will do anything to make that not happen. And so we're like kind of close to each other. It's great. We're having a great time running together. We get to the last sort of 200-300 meters. And that's obviously the time where I shine, get the sprint on, get across the finish line comfortably. Sean's behind me. I'm like, great. Sprinting up to the finish line. There are gates that you have to run through for like each grade. So there was like, a year 12 grade, a year 12 gate, a year 11 gate, a year 10, and they're one person wide. Sean decides once I'm in the gate, I'm like, oh, great, I've got him. He can't get past me. I'll just go back down to a normal run, have a glorious across the finish line. Thank you, everyone. 12-0. Sean can never win anything. Sean goes in.
You're not actually first. You're just beating Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only race that mattered.
Right.
I think it was for 12th, though, which was like the last district spot.
Yes.
Yeah. And so Sean, like a massive cheater, runs through the wrong gate. He runs through like the year 11 gate, runs past me. And I'm like, What the damn hell?
They were not gates.
And
so
at the
they
end,
were purely
they didn't ping him for it.
Yeah, because they were purely lanes
Nah.
to funnel you
Nonsense.
towards the table, like to take you to the right
Nah.
table. When you
It's
finish
marked year 12.
when you
if you
finish-
don't run in that one, you're cheating.
when you finish, you watch the Olympics, you finish a long distance race. They start on the lanes at the beginning. They
Yeah, but
do
they don't
not
have
to
signs
finish.
that specifically say Olympian here.
No, they just have
They just
specific
have-
Olympic lanes that are
Yeah,
just.
but the
it's only
lane's
for the
there.
start. The lane is there to take you towards the table. Too bad, you're wrong. You're
You
lost.
know what you did?
You're
you
lost.
This was the first time that you showed your pure contempt for admin.
Absolutely not. I mean, I do hate admin, but there was not a specific rule that said you need it. It was
It said year 12, year 11.
To take you
should not
towards
have
the
been in the year
table.
11 lane.
There is not a single type of foot race in the world.
I
you can't
maintain on
overtake somebody.
protest, if this had gone to the Supreme Court,
There is not-
I'm 12-0.
There is not a single foot race in history that says that you can't overtake in the last 20 meters just because there's some lines on the ground. You are always allowed to
It's
overtake.
not that you couldn't have overtaken. It was that
That
you
was your
physically
theory.
couldn't have because
You
I took up the whole
physically
lane.
can.
I'm sorry, guys. When did you finish high school? 14 years ago?
Yeah, long enough
Yeah,
time.
it's
Yeah,
Stings.
it's still going
Yeah.
on. It's quite.
All right. Well,
The tension is thick in the room.
no, there'll be enough of that. So that's our ancient history segment done. Thank you very much for that, boys.
That doesn't seem like ancient history.
Oh, it's proper.
2009 AD.
That brought up a lot of emotions in the
Oh,
room.
it's great. It's great. It's a good one. That was the idea. That's why I added in. All right. Next up, new
I
segment.
feel like that should have been under Aaron's blunders
No.
for taking the end of the race.
That
too
should have been
easy.
under another one. Sean's absolute disgraceful following of any sort of rule.
That's you, just
What is
sucking entirely. Oh no, Aaron lost the cross country. All right, we're enough of that. Let's move on to the next segment. I don't want to hear about this anymore.
By the way, just quickly, have a look at my genius over there. I didn't have a mic stand to mic up the speaker because I couldn't plumb the phone into the desk. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I hung it like, it's just brilliance. Brilliance.
his genius apparently knows no bounds.
Is that going to be a photo for the socials then?
Probably.
Probably. John, you're up next
Sure.
in our category of modern mysteries. John,
Sounds good.
You gotta tell Janet.
Mysteries that I'm not going to know anything about.
that's okay. I've picked ones that hopefully you do know about. For instance, your first topic to tell Aaron about is the story of Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper.
If you are flummoxed, you're allowed the lifeline of 30 seconds on your phone.
I feel like I know enough. I know something about it. Okay, Jack the Ripper. Let's go. English dude killed a lot of women.
Yep.
That's it.
What type of women?
You suck.
No, there was a type of woman. Wasn't nurses? Was it?
No, it was Ladies of the Night.
Yeah.
Ladies of the night. There you go. Yes, ladies of the night, working ladies. Yeah, I don't know. There was quite a. I don't think there was. I don't want to say there wasn't many. Was it?
I think it's only 5.
Was it in
that
the
are-
teens?
No, it's only like 5, I think, that are officially
A class, yeah, but
classed as Jack the Ripper murders.
but there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's 5 that are considered canonical murders by Jack the Ripper, which is pretty crazy.
One of the ongoing theories about him is that he moved to either the US or
Yes.
Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did. There was Red Web did an episode on him, and I do remember listening to that. And and there was potential links to other serial murders, like you said, in the US.
And it was specifically prostitutes, young female prostitutes that he murdered.
Mhm.
And he famously, as the fact checker now to finish off, he famously signed a letter to a detective that was looking for him. Or was it to the vigilante committee? But it was somebody called the From Hell letter because he signed it.
Yeah.
He signed it as himself from hell and never caught. Hence why modern mysteries. It was still never caught. But there is a lot of
What a
similarities
weirdo.
to the Ipswich Ripper, which happened much
what
later
now?
on. The Ipswich Ripper.
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a good episode.
Bet he
in the
lived in
future.
North Baval.
Probably did live in North Baval. All right, Aaron.
All right.
Okay, Aaron. For modern mystery. Now, this one is not necessarily mystery, but because that many people have decided that this is some kind of crazy conspiracy, I added it in.
If he's going to say 9/11,
I have already said that I'm never doing anything on 9/11, and I know that it would be so much fun to rile you up about the moon landing being a conspiracy, but it's not. Aaron, tell John and the rest of us all of everything you know about the JFK assassination.
ooh.
Oh no!
So
In accent, the whole thing in accent.
He did die in Texas.
He does love his JFK accent impersonation.
I am in a car and I am very safe. I'm here with my wife, Jackie.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
So JFK, pretty popular president. I think even at the time, very popular. He was in a motorcade in Texas. They had pre-warned everyone where he was going to be. So there was people like, oh, look, it's the president. Yay. Lee Harvey Oswald, don't know exactly why he took offense to him, but went up in a book.
Grassy Knoll.
Hey?
Oh, it was a library. There was speculation
I
library.
want to say it's a library.
What,
he was
Grassy
in.
Knoll?
Yeah, it was books something. And he took a shot, got him a couple times. Gross footage of like the blood spraying everywhere and whatever. The Zapruder film, I think it is the one that everyone has seen.
Apparently his wife had brain matter on her head, on her face.
Yeah, pretty gross. They took him to hospital. He died, obviously, because, shot in the head. His head went missing. JFK's head is missing. Yeah.
Not buried with the body?
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's out there somewhere. But, yeah, there's speculation that there was not just the one shooter. Mm-hmm. They believe that there was a shooter on the grassy knoll. Lots of people have done research into whether or not Lee Harvey Oswald could have taken the shot, or because there was multiple shots, was it all of them from him, or were there some from the person in the grassy knoll or somewhere else? But that's the JFK assassination.
Mm-hmm.
That is a topic that I actually want to do a full episode on one day.
It would be pretty good. They made a movie about it, and I think it was, I'd have to double check, but it was Gary Oldman, I believe, played Lee Harvey Oswald, or someone did. And they actually went up to the window on the floor below that he shot from, supposedly, in the Texas School Book Depository building.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So he actually went up to the floor below and he looked out the window, and the actor that played him professed, he goes, there is absolutely no way that he could have shot him that accurately from here. He's like, no way. So there's plenty of people that are like, you cannot be that accurate. There's a famous line from Full Metal Jacket where Gunnery Sergeant Hartman talks about what a Marine with his rifle can do. And he talks about Lee Harvey Oswald firing 4 shots in quick succession in a bolt-action rifle with no sights at a long distance. Yeah. They reckon it cannot be true. But that would be a really good episode. John.
Yes.
Another modern mystery. I mean, it's modern enough, being that it's less than 2,000 years old. So tell us everything you know about the Shroud of Turin. And if not, I'll let you have 30 seconds on your
I
phone.
got nothing about this.
Oh, I added this one in because I thought it would be fun.
Is that in Mecca?
It's not in Mecca.
Okay.
It is not in Mecca.
Is that the one in Jerusalem?
It's in Turin. Hence why it's called the Shroud of Turin.
All right. Well, I mean, look, I don't know anything about it. Shut up.
You can't handle this.
Advertising.
Oh, it's necessary.
I was going to edit it out, but not now.
That wasn't an ad. My soundboard strikes again.
Let me know when my time's up.
Go.
Okay, so the Shroud of Turin is a supposed piece of linen cloth with a negative image of a man believed to be Jesus of Nazareth.
Oh, spooky.
Just first mentioned, I think I just quickly read in 1358 or somewhere along them. It is denounced by the bishops and Catholics as not Jesus. Some believe to be the burial cloth he was wrapped in. But carbon dating has been done on it, saying that's in between 1200 to 1300 or something like that. So, and that's all I got through.
Yep.
All
so
right.
yeah, the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin is a long.
I was thinking it was some sort of fog in Turin, as in the city.
Well, it is located in the chapel in Turin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they got. So it's a long piece of linen cloth that was obviously wrapped in a body as a burial cloth of a naked man with his hands over his junk, and the face looks remarkably like the depictions of Jesus. Obviously, being
Like
a man,
white Jesus or because whenever we
I've
see
seen that
Jesus,
episode of
it's
Family
white
Guy.
Jesus.
yeah,
See, that's white Jesus, isn't it?
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's a man with Santa part long hair
Just because
and a beard.
the cloth is black and the image is white doesn't mean the person was white.
That's a negative image.
That's what it means by negative.
The cloth is brown, like tan
I'm
colored.
not
with a
talking
dark
about
brown.
the color of the cloth. I'm talking about like facial features and stuff.
Yeah. Either way, it's been considered. So the Vatican, the
What's
Catholic.
the movie with Korean Jesus? Is that 21 Jump
That's
Street?
21 Jump Street.
Korean Jesus.
That's a quit praying a Korean Jesus. He ain't got no time for your problems.
That's a line in
Okay.
21
Yeah,
Jump Street.
it's a really good one though, but it's just great. So it's been denounced a few times, like they say, but the modern day the Catholic Church hasn't refuted it. Nothing. They're just like, yeah, it can.
Were
be,
you trying to find the
it can
name
be
Jeff?
special. I'm not trying to find my name, Jeff.
That's why I was so excited. I thought we were going to get him. My name Jeff.
Damn 22 Jump Street stuff. It's just ridiculous.
High school. Says it? No. I just assumed it due to your many years on the honor roll
Oh, damn.
and
21 Jump
membership
Street.
to the juggling squad. It's a juggling.
Probably one of the greatest scenes in modern cinema history is when the character, Channing Tatum's character, finds out that
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill's
Yeah.
dating the chief's daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
and he beep
yeah.
the captain's daughter.
Yeah. And he's doing the dance and all that.
Yeah.
He just moves the gun from Jonah Hill to Channing Tatum.
Stop
Okay.
fucking with Korean Jesus.
There it
He
is.
ain't got time for your problems. He busy with Korean shit. You two get to your mama house ASAP.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
Quit
this,
praying to Korean Jesus.
this medley of madness is absolutely going great. So, The Shroud of Turin, absolutely fantastic. Now, last one for Modern Mysteries. Aaron, feel free to use your phone for this one, but do you know, or now you have to tell everything about the Oak Island treasure?
Okay, one, my parents are really into this.
Yes!
Really?
Yeah, if I showed you my Foxtel right now, they're watching it at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, so Oak Island. I actually know a little bit about this. It's supposedly treasure from a pirate. So he went and buried it on this island.
I do know this one.
Yeah.
This is the one with the weird channels that go out of the
Yes.
island? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's meant to be on the island somewhere. Heaps of people have died trying to get
Looking
it.
for it, yep.
Over multiple hundreds of years, people have been trying to dig a hole down to where the treasure is. There's like
There's like barriers and stuff.
Yeah, so there's like a guide to where it is that
Yeah.
says like, oh, there's this, there's this, and they're all
Almost
different
traps.
levels.
Yeah, different levels.
Whenever they dig the hole, it just fills with water, fills back up with water, and everyone's like, oh, where's this water coming from? And so they've tested it, and the water is like traveling out of the hole into the ocean in multiple different spots all over the island, and they can't work out how to plug it. And there's a whole, I think it's 9 seasons of a TV show about trying to get to Oak Island, trying to get to the treasure on Oak Island.
And how much is the suspected value of the treasure?
The oldest theory is a very, very old story from 1790 roughly, and someone found it and reckoned it's possibly £2 million in 1790s money.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money now.
Once again, could be another really good episode.
Didn't know the name of it. I actually do know. I knew about that one too. What is that from?
No idea.
That music.
That was labeled as to be continued. It turned into license-free funk music.
No, that's from a TV show. I just can't put my finger on it.
All right, well, someone will tell us.
Well, there we go. That's Modern Mysteries done. 4 topics of Modern Mystery.
We've only had
pretty
to
good
use Google once.
I only had to use the Google Lifeline once. Probably should have set a cap on the Google Lifelines, but I'm okay with that.
What is this?
Yeah, okay.
What is this? Who wants to be a
It's supposed to
millionaire?
be, yeah, Cole Clarkson and
No,
host
I'm
it.
not using the Google Lifelines anymore. If I don't know that, I'm just going to make it up.
There is one in the next category that I think.
Stop smacking the microphone stand every 2
I
seconds.
just need the microphone into my
There's
beard.
one in the next category, being that none of us are fans of it particularly, might need it, but it's still pretty entertaining. So, John,
Making it up.
you are starting off our category of sporting wonders.
Mhm.
Tell everybody everything you know about the history and the concept of the Ashes.
Oh, geez, I don't know where
Suddenly
to start.
realizing he doesn't even know what the Ashes are.
What's the Ashes? No, so the Ashes is a sporting rivalry between England and Australia in Test match cricket, 5-day cricket. Well, unless you play it at the Gabba on a
5-day
green pitch.
maximum cricket.
So the Ashes started with, I don't know exactly how they started, but they burnt the bales of the first Test, and that actually became the trophy in the urn, the Ashes of the bales. That I think predominantly lives in England, that one, and they have a
Has not been moved in a long time.
Long time.
and yeah, it's every, I want to say 3 years they play the Ashes.
Yeah.
Or every second year.
It's not necessarily on a specific
No,
year.
rotation,
Yeah.
but it alternates between being played in Australia and England. It always is between Australia and England. and it's a 5-test match series between the two countries. And Australia, I want to say, are the current holders
Yes.
as they won it now, not last year, the 2021 Ashes played in Australia with the debut of one Scott Boland taking 6 at the G on Boxing
I
Day.
actually think the Ashes are not the best Australian rivalry. I think it's Australia-Bangladesh.
Of course. Because Jason Gillespie scored 200 something runs and then rode his bat like a horse. Now, the Ashes, of course, specifically was a test series where Australia finally defeated England in 1882 at the Oval.
And they decided to burn the bales in protest.
It
And
was
that's
the
where it come from.
very first test win on English soil. And it was a satirical obituary that was written in a newspaper, actually, in the Sporting Times, that said the body will be cremated and the ashes taken to Australia. The mythical Ashes immediately became associated with the 1882 to 83 test series played in Australia, before which the England captain Ivo Bligh had vowed to regain those ashes. So, and apparently someone that had the stumps, they burnt the bales and put them in a little terracotta urn. But it's also reported to possibly contain a cricket ball as well.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, it's 4
Kind
inches
of
tall.
odd they don't even know what's in there.
Well, it is pretty old.
True.
And there's just ash inside, like who?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's only 100 and something years old. It's not that old.
But unless you were there when they burnt it.
But, like, they obviously burnt it for a purpose. Why would they not be like, oh, by the way,
Boy,
BT dubs, this is what's in here?
We've discovered that fact keeping and record keeping from the early 1900s is terrible in all stuff we've tried to look up. And
True.
they've lost JFK's head.
Yeah, and that was only like 40 years ago. Wow, 60 years ago. Sheesh.
All right, sporting wonders.
All right, what have I got?
You might need your phone for this one.
Oh, geez.
Tell us everything you know about Diego
America's
Maradona
Cup.
and the Hand of God goal.
Oh, I know this one. Wasn't
Excellent.
it in the World Cup final?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just touched the ball.
Oh, come on.
Yep, give it to him. That's what happened. he punched the ball in the goal and got away with it.
That's pretty much it.
Who's Argentina playing?
Let me tell you.
Brazil.
Let me tell you.
England.
I got no idea.
Against England. I'm gonna mention that to Mason.
And it was the quarterfinal.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, I'm close enough.
A final.
Yeah,
A final.
He basically just touched the ball in, and everyone was like, "Oh, cool, that's a goal." And everyone went, "Hang on a minute, he touched it, but it was too late."
Come on, you can put a bit more on that.
Can I? Like,
So basically, Diego Maradona scored by hitting the ball with his hand, and that's obviously illegal, but the referees they didn't have a clear view. They allowed the goal to count. So Argentina went up 1-0, and then they won 2-1, with Maradona scoring a second goal known as the goal of the century, en route to then winning the World Cup that year.
I like
in
how you're not even
1986.
changing what it says
Yeah,
on Wikipedia.
do I need to change a long script? No, it's just giving the facts.
So, John, actually, I also remember that the goal's name derives from Maradona's initial response on whether he scored it illegally, stating it was made a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God.
Sounds a bit up himself.
Did you know that the jersey that he was wearing actually not that long ago sold in 2022?
I think he does know it because he might be reading
He
it
might be
right
reading
now.
it now.
If I remember correctly, it was May 4th, and it sold for £7,100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The most expensive piece of sport
Sports
memorabilia.
yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that was in the news. That was actually in the news.
I know, I remember it.
Hang on, I need to get my memory going.
All right,
Hang on.
that's enough. That's enough screen time, children. Put them down, phones down. You had your topic.
Auctioned by Sotheby's,
Oh, for God's
if I
sake.
remember.
Okay, bringing it back home, closer to Australia again for our next sporting wonder topic. That is something very near and dear to Australians' hearts. Is the sport of swimming. Right? It's oh, come on, don't pull that face. Every Olympics.
Like, you know what swimming is to me? Swimming is like early, like the football has finished, like the NRL's
Yes.
finished, and
The cricket hasn't started.
cricket hasn't started yet, and Channel 9 are trying to fill a 2-hour slot every night for a week.
With the trial,
That's
the
tennis for me.
Australian
Yeah.
trials.
That's always tennis for me.
Tennis happens mid cricket season.
I know, but I hate it. It feels like they're just filling in. I hate tennis. Anyway, yeah, so swimming is near and dear. It sucks. It's a selfish sport. Anyway,
How is it selfish?
It's for kids who can't play well in teams, so they play by themselves and smack a ball at each other and become tantrum-wielding children.
It's funny
Not a
that
fan.
because junior tennis is played in a team.
Can be played. Yeah, they are organised in teams.
It's played in a teams. You play 6 sets and you have 1 singles and 2 doubles in a team of 3.
Junior, and then you turn into Bernard Tomic and Nick Kyrgios having tantrums.
I think
and
they're
driving
called
sports
Special
cars.
K.
No, Bernard Tomic is in a member of Special K.
I'm thinking of Kyrgios and the other one,
Kyrgios and
Kokonakis.
Kokonakis.
That's the one. So, swimming obviously near and
Don't
dear
say
to
that, I'm
Australia
wrong.
because
Kokonakis.
obviously the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games, every time they come around, they focus so
This
much
is
on
going to be
Australian
Susie
swimming.
O'Neill's in
It's
the 2000.
not. John,
It's gonna be
explain to
Kathy
us
Freeman when she jumped in a pool one time.
one time. And it's not Eddie the Eel, surprisingly, although in hindsight, that's a good one.
How good is Eddie the Eel? Sean might
Uh,
pivot here quickly.
Back to our episode. There's the cut. John, tell us everything you know about the era of the supersuit drama.
Oh,
Oh, yes. Okay. So the supersuit was a full body swimsuit that it was early 2000s.
Mhm.
It was in. Australia used it. I can't think of any other countries that
the
used it.
US.
Well, I believe other countries, other well-off sporting-wise
Yeah.
countries used it, and it was deemed to be giving the swimmers an unfair advantage. Was it not? They
Mhm.
would wear a full body suit. It would be, I guess, it was just swimwear. It wasn't made from anything particular. Like same as like what a speedo or
So
other swimming cozies would be made out of, like the women would use, the one pieces and all that kind of thing.
they're actually derived from NASA's space program and were
Hell yeah.
composed entirely of polyurethane.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, do those times still stand?
No, they don't.
No. So the times don't stand anymore.
Mhm.
From
Oh,
that
so
era.
Ian Thorpe didn't have times recorded then.
They did, but apparently they sort of credit them as their own era of like, that's the supersuit sort of drama because it made swimmers more buoyant. Like it actually
right.
made a human being more buoyant and allowed them to swim with less resistance. 2008 to 2009, by the way.
That doesn't seem that
Are
long
you
ago.
sure?
Oh, no, the records still hold up today.
I said early
2008 to
2000s.
2009.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was
have
the
thought that was
supersuit.
Sydney 2000.
No, that's the supersuit era. No,
No, it wasn't
Oh.
Sydney 2000.
they
I knew it
wore
was the-
they were allowed
I
to
thought
wear
it was-
long legging swimsuits, like
Yeah.
long-legged swimsuits, or ones with straps, like shoulder straps at Sydney 2000. But the supersuit era was specifically a full body neck to wrist to
Yeah.
ankle suit.
Huh.
I thought it was 2004 Olympics, but
Nah.
afterwards.
They actually still hold up today as a result of these suits, which is pretty fascinating. Yeah,
There you go. That's all I know.
technological doping,
Tech doping.
tech doping.
Techno doping.
That's great.
That sounds like when I walked out to
Steroids.
bat with the aluminium bat. Tech doping.
Oh, that was great. That's a great moment.
Do you know that one?
Is
It's
that
Dennis Lilly.
baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, Dennis Lilly
Dennis Lilly walked out
playing
with
cricket with an aluminium cricket bat.
Right.
I think it was against the West Indies, and they were like, "What? What is
Yeah.
this?"
He used it for a couple of balls and then got told to change it.
Yeah, apparently it was so loud when he hit the ball. The umpire was like, "Nah, that's not okay."
I want to hear that now.
Yeah, good little secret, good little bit of sporting wonders. Aaron, last sporting wonder before we move into Aaron's blunders.
It's the aluminium cricket bat from Dennis Lilly.
Ditto.
No, it's the invention of professional soccer. No, tell us everything about
Real
JT's
tennis. Oh.
golden point.
I don't want to talk about that.
no, cut this.
I don't want to talk about that.
F- off. I'm out. I'm done.
You know the worst bit of that is I was at Cheesy's house for that.
Oh, no. Were you?
It's hard being friends with a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. How about we tell instead the story of John seeing JT at the airport?
No, I don't think so.
JT!
Shuckers.
No, I want to hear about the golden point.
Oh, fine. So the Broncos were dominating that game. I think, wasn't it like 12-2 or something with like 10 minutes to go?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then the Broncos defensive line just decided, hey, you know what would be nice? Overtime. And
Let
gave
Kyle
up.
Felt score in the corner.
Yeah, gave up 2 tries really quickly. Kyle Felt scored an absolute screamer in the corner. And then JT, one of the best kickers of all time, absolutely shanked it.
He didn't shank it. He boinked the post.
Oh, he did hit the
He hit
post,
the
didn't he?
post. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
and then
sent it.
went to overtime or extra time as it's called here. And then,
Golden point.
yeah, golden point. That's what it's called. And then Ben Hunt, who has only just redeemed himself thanks to his Queensland exploits, dropped the ball on the kickoff and gave the Cowboys a very easy golden point field goal from JT and broke the hearts of Brisbaneites everywhere.
But absolutely fulfilled the dreams of so many North Queensland fans 20 years after bringing the Cowboys into the NRL.
Yeah. And like, I can't be too upset. Everyone loves the Cowboys.
And they played well. It wasn't as if they cheated. It was that the Broncos just sadly let it down, and Ben Hunt fumbling it.
Yeah.
Bad
like,
game.
now that we've had a few years to get over it.
What year?
2015.
Too
That
soon.
was the year that John and I were members.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we spent that whole year watching the Broncos dominate, and then we went to that semi-final where
It was the first year of our membership, and they weren't playing too well in the years prior. And then they had a great season. We watched
that semi-final where the Roosters threw that
we watched Darius
errant
Boyd
pass
take an intercept about
right in front of
2
us.
minutes in, right in front of us. The fullback tried to pass it to his winger, and Darius Boyd just went, "Thank you very much," and scored right in front of us.
I've never seen my dad so excited.
Really?
Yeah. That was a great moment.
All right. The final category.
I'm not happy about this.
Wasn't that also? Didn't we also watch the previous? It was like a quarterfinal at the Suncorp against the Cowboys that the Broncos won.
we did.
And
Yeah.
we had Cheesy with us.
Yes. That was a great day.
And a half hours later.
Can we get back on topic, please?
We are still on topic.
You're the timekeeper.
I know. Timekeeper. I have no control over this. It's the medley of madness for a reason. All right, our final category. Sorry, Aaron, you don't get this one at all. This is purely for John. This category is called Aaron's Blunders, and it involves John finally getting to explain the plot of so many movies that Aaron hasn't bloody seen in as much detail and as little time as he possibly
I want
can.
Aaron to explain them first.
Nah, there's no fun in that.
Yeah, I want Aaron to explain them.
I picked out some movies that I'm almost certain that Aaron hasn't seen, but John and I have seen, or at least John has seen, that he can finally explain things. And I've tried to make them important movies. So we're going to start off.
Aaron gets 30 seconds to explain the movie.
No.
Yep.
Because he will be far too mean about these, especially the first one.
Oh, no, what is it?
The first one's not necessarily a movie. No,
If
I'll
it's
save that one.
Avatar, I
You know what? I'll
swear
say
to
that.
God.
I'll save that one till last.
Would
Let's
you
start
Avatar?
out. Let's start out with an icon. Let's start out with Terminator 2.
Okay.
Aaron, can you tell us anything about probably one of the greatest action films ever made?
Well, I know that Terminator 2 is the one where they ruined the plot twist in the trailer.
That is true. He only knows that from the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Of course.
No, I know that because it's very popular.
Okay.
Yeah, it's where Arnie has come back as a good guy. And he's like, if you want to live. Wait, I can't remember the line. But it's something about if you want to
come with
live.
me.
Take it away, John. Let's do it.
He is correct. That could have been one of the greatest reveals in cinema history if they did not give it away in the trailer before the movie came out, that Arnie was the bad guy in the first movie. He comes back to be the hero in the second movie. So Arnold Schwarzenegger is the T-100, T-1000, and he is sent back to protect a young John Connor who becomes the leader of the human resistance against machines in the future. The T-800?
The T-1000 is actually the enemy in that movie.
Yeah, so the
T-1000.
T-1000.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, Arnie is the T-800.
Yes.
Yes. Arnie
you
is a
go.
T-800 Terminator.
Mm.
Was captured by the human resistance and sent back in time to protect John Connor. And the T-1000 was liquid metal Terminator come back to kill him. And it's a fight between the two Terminators. They go back, try to kill the creator of Sky Mesh. No, you work for Sky Mesh. Skynet is
Skynet.
Skynet is the bad guys that create that brings AI and creates the Terminators, and they have a big old fight. The classic scene of Arnie Schwarzenegger as the, look at him, Jordan, T-800 standing on top of the tower with the minigun firing down on all the police cars. It's a great scene.
It's a truly great movie. I remember it freaked me out as a kid because obviously the T-1000 can shapeshift into anything, and I was just like,
Where is he?
I need to
Who is he?
I need to call my parents. Your parents are dead.
it's an absolutely outstanding movie.
So you know that game type we play in GTA where you ride the bikes down the LA
Yes.
drain with the trucks? That comes from that movie.
I know.
So good. Up next on our movie list, a one that I frankly just love, and I know he hasn't seen because I've been bugging him about it, is Tenet.
Oh, I don't even know how to explain this movie.
No one can. That's the point. It's provocative.
What do you know about Tenet, boy?
It's provocative. Isn't it in like a similar vein to Inception?
Christopher Nolan directed film, so it's one of
Yeah,
those thinking ones.
Is Tenet the backwards time one or the
Yes.
time standing still? Or
The backwards time one.
yeah, there you go.
So Tenet is time travel. The movie takes place with the movie going forward and then coming back in time and then moving forward, and then it culminates in a huge battle scene where the protagonists come into the battle backwards through time and then they exit forward through time. So you see like the building that was destroyed being rebuilt, and then 5 minutes later the building is destroyed. It's also the film where Christopher Nolan drove a plane through a airport terminal, like a real 747, just drove it straight into an airport terminal for a shot. It recently brought up because he
I have heard of that.
He apparently just replicated the Heisenberg test nuke without CGI. So explain how that. How is Christopher Nolan out there just setting off nukes for movies now, or what's he doing?
When you've got the money to do this sort of stuff and you've got the backing that Christopher Nolan has, they're just like, I've got this idea. People are like, yeah, all right, just don't go over this budget. And he's like, okay, and he'll go just $1 underneath it. Yeah, we did it. He might fudge the books a little bit.
So the short and curlies of Tenet is it's the character. The character joins a special like FBI group involved in trying to foil a time traveling plot where someone in the future is sending back money, I think. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to work out who it is and trying to stop him.
It's absolutely awesome, but it is a bit
much.
It's a bit crazy. It's wild. I remember, so I went to see it, as with a lot of my favorite films, I went to see it with no idea what it was about. So I was down in Brisbane on a course for work, and one of the guys was like, hey, let's go to the movies tonight. And this guy famously doesn't talk very much anyway. And we're like, okay, let's go to the movies. Sure. Like, what are we seeing? He goes, it's called Tenet. Like, okay, what's it about? He goes, look, I've already seen it. Like, then why are we going? He goes, well, I liked it a lot. I'm like, okay.
Need to see it again to understand it.
Yeah, well, he was being a bit cryptic. We said, well, what's it about? He goes, look, if I try and explain it, it'll give it away and it won't be fun. So let's just say it's a spy movie. I said, sweet, I like spy movies, big James Bond fan. Let's do it. Big 007 fan. So we went and it blew my mind. It was just amazing.
Blew his freaking mind, man.
Freaking mind, man.
I have a story similar to that for a different movie, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
I took Kirsty to see that on Valentine's Day thinking that it was a interesting movie about someone falling short on Wall Street. Like, that is not what that movie is about at all.
Not at all.
And
Great
it is
Valentine's
not
Day.
Exactly something Kirsty's interested in what happens in that movie. So, yeah. That was a bit
I
of a
bet she
fail.
loved the cocaine scene.
and
That is a great scene.
And
Is that
Margot
the scene
Robbie's
where
Tartars.
is that the scene where he tries to drive the Lambo home and thinks he's made it perfect?
Crawls out of it at the end. Like, yeah.
Oh, up next on our movie list, Starship Troopers.
Wow.
Recently brought up.
Yes.
That's why it's in there.
Starship Troopers is the humans are a spacefaring race and they are attacked by bugs. Arachnids. Is that the actual name they give? Arachnids?
Yeah, I think they use arachnids, yeah.
The arachnids they have certain bugs that shoot giant plasma out of their A-holes, and their home planet is surrounded by asteroids. So they shoot one of these giant plasma balls at the A-hole, at the asteroid.
At the A-hole.
Which sends
right in the A-hole.
Which sends it to Earth and kills Buenos Aires. So the movie takes place about Johnny Rico, and his group of friends that join up to get their citizenship, because if you serve, you get citizenship. And they go off to fight against the bugs and the disastrous happenings that happen, the disastrous circumstances that happen after that, fighting the bugs and solving the mystery of the arachnids.
Cool.
Would you like to know more?
No.
So it had a budget of $100 to $110 million.
That's a lot of money.
More than half of it was on special effects and CGI.
Yeah, of course it was.
And when it came out...
98?
97. And when it came out...
That's a massive budget for a movie in 98.
All the critics panned it when it came out, and they reckoned the creators were Nazis, and it was a movie promoting fascism.
It's a cult classic because the Federation, is it that they call it the Federation in the movie, is they're all dressed up like the Nazi type of black, sleek type of thing like that. And it's actually based on a book, and the book has way more in it than there's mech suits and a whole bunch of stuff in the book that the movie doesn't go into.
Yeah, right.
Probably as a young boy. No, I'm not including that. You can hear about that later.
It was a warm summer night in ancient Greece. Second podcast I made that joke. No one got it.
I feel like I'm going to go home and watch that tonight.
That's a good movie to watch tonight.
I was going to make a GIF or like a little clip You know the scene where the guy's like, what's his name? The big tall dude. He's a famous actor. He goes, what's the point in learning? Because they're doing knife throwing practice. Aaron's just sitting here quiet. He's got nothing.
No idea.
They're doing knife throwing practice, throwing knives at targets. And this recruit's like, what's the point of throwing a knife if we can just press a button and nuke these bugs? And the drill sergeant's like, put your hand on that wall. He's like, put it up there. He puts it up there, pulls out the knife, throws it straight into the hand. The enemy cannot press a button if you disable his hand. I was watching Captain America Winter Soldier the other night, the opening scene when Captain America takes the boat, jumps in. The guy, Aaron doesn't know this movie.
He doesn't know the movie.
Aaron hasn't seen Marvel movies. He's
seen The Winter Soldier.
He's seen Endgame without seeing Infinity War.
That's convenient because the next movie
I haven't seen Endgame.
The next movie on the list is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah. So anyway, Captain America's taken out the soldiers in the. Is it?
Yeah. It's the next one on the list.
So Captain America: Winter Soldier, he's taken out the boat. He's knocked out all these guys. One guy.
You're on count number 2.
Yeah.
The guy's just about to grab up and press the button to alert. Captain America picks up a knife and throws a knife through the dude's hand. So I'm like, he's gone to this school of the Starship
a lot
Troopers.
of damage.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
It's a good one.
And is it really?
Yeah, that's next on the list.
Okay.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Aaron, what are you doing with that laptop?
Hey, I'm not researching anything. I'm just.
Aaron, can you tell me what you know about Captain America?
He's old.
What? That's what you went with.
He's from the old days. They put some stuff in him and then froze him for a while, and he's super buff. Got the shield.
So Winter Soldier is the movie is. I'm going to recommend it to people if they haven't seen many Marvel movies. Watch Captain America: Winter Soldier. It's not a superhero movie. It is a spy movie. Go and watch it. It's Captain America dealing with a group who has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and dealing with I don't want to spoil the movie, but dealing with someone from his past that comes back and dealing with that. It's a great spy
film.
movie, great thriller, political thriller movie.
And we have one more movie on the list.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much explaining the plot of the story. It's more or less explaining why it's important. John, tell us about Avatar.
That was your count number 3, by the way.
Tell us about Avatar.
I haven't
John.
seen Avatar, though.
Doesn't matter. We need to explain to him why it's important.
Have you seen the sequel yet?
You know, Sean, do you know that the Puss in Boots movie is doing better than Avatar 2 now?
Sorry, can I just quickly explain Avatar?
No.
Before you go into your rant? Not Pinocchio.
I know, Pocahontas.
In space. There you go.
Pocahontas in space.
I've explained the movie.
Yeah. So, Sean, the Puss in Boots movie, a spin-off from Shrek, is currently doing better than Avatar 2.
It's actually not the first Puss in Boots movie.
No.
I know, it's not even the first.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Apparently a lot more than James Cameron.
Yeah, a lot more than James Cameron. I have heard that Puss in Boots is beating it. And that sucks, but it is a holiday period.
It is school holidays with, so lots of parents taking kids to movies.
And lots of adults.
Sean, if everyone was clamoring to see this dumb movie, it would be the greatest movie. Like, it would be breaking the box office. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Avatar 2.
I have a day off tomorrow. I might go to the movies and watch Avatar 2.
Do you want to watch Avatar?
Yeah,
I'll go with you.
Let's watch Avatar 2.
Have fun, guys.
Are you coming?
No,
Are you
you're
gonna come?
coming.
No, I'll do literally anything
Too bad.
else.
You're coming.
Nah.
You're coming.
No.
Podcast world, if you
I got paint
think
to watch
Aaron-
dry.
Look at all that. Make sure he paints something and sits there and watches it for 4 hours,
4
because that's
hours,
how long
yeah.
the movie goes for. So you have to sit and watch paint dry
Is
for
it 4 hours?
Apparently.
I'm actually so excited.
It's 4 hours.
And let's fact
I'm
check.
excited for the next podcast when we start off by saying, so, when we took Aaron to see Avatar 2,
No, because it's not going to happen.
you're coming to
I will scream and run away.
I'm calling in my 1 in 10 Rick and Morty adventures. I get to choose which one. So you're coming.
1 in 10.
Yeah, 1 in 10.
3 hours and 12 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's too long.
That's succinct.
What was the Endgame? 3 hours and 9 minutes?
Yeah, it was 3 hours. It was over 3.
3 hours 12 is long enough for me to be so bored that I would just leave.
And you know what James Cameron said?
What?
He said, don't worry about going to the toilet during Avatar because you'll see it on the second viewing. You'll see it when you go back to the movies again. Just watch it the second time.
That's ballsy.
I love James Cameron.
Oh, that was a...
What's your favourite James Cameron
if you
movie,
had
boy?
rolled your eyes any harder, you would have fallen off that bloody couch.
What's your favourite James Cameron movie?
That one where he went in the submarine in the Mariana Trench.
Because we've already talked about another great James Cameron movie today.
We have.
Titanic.
Yeah.
No,
That's Spielberg, isn't it?
that was
James Cameron
That was James
Titanic.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 was a James Cameron movie.
Was it?
Mhm.
There you go.
My favourite is Aliens.
Aliens is a really
sequel.
good
Yeah.
one. That was potentially...
I have actually seen every movie at least until like 5 10 years ago. Every Aliens movie.
Which is why Aliens wasn't on the list. It was originally on the list, and then obviously come to the conclusion that you'd seen that one because it is a really good one.
Can't remember where or why, but I watched all of them in like.
So is that including Aliens vs. Predator, Aliens vs. Predator 2, Prometheus, and Covenant?
No, it was before Prometheus.
So you
came
haven't
out.
watched all the Aliens movies?
I said up until about 5 or 10 years ago.
They come out before that.
Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
When
No,
was
whatever.
Prometheus?
Before that.
When was Prometheus?
I want to say 2012.
It was 2012.
That's 10 years ago.
Wow.
And Covenant was, 2 or 3 years after that, so 2015?
Yeah, we'll call it 2015.
Well, I have to say, fun episode, Sean, except the last bit.
Oh, you didn't like Aaron's blunders
Like, there's a reason I haven't seen the movies.
because they're iconic and you're a curmudgeon?
I thought I was going to be explaining Aaron's actual blunders, like when he's seen an armed robbery, drunk off his tits.
No, we don't.
After he spewed up all over himself.
Sorry, we're going into a tunnel podcast. Well,
Thanks, Sean.
Aaron, do you want to tell us that?
no. It's the medley of madness, not
the medley
not
of
the medley of sadness. Yeah.
That's next year's New Year's podcast, the
Next
Medley of
year's one,
Sadness.
yeah. Oh. So
Well,
yeah,
Sean, good concept.
yeah, good. I thought it was a good concept. I did come up with it abruptly when we
Hey,
were
it
at
works.
the cricket. Yeah, I'm very glad that this
Do the
went
outro,
off.
boy.
Do the outro. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, or even if you didn't, hit us up on social media at Cheeky Tales Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'd love to have you there. Give us a follow. We do post supplemental photos of every episode. There will be some this week, even though it's
Aaron actually took one while recording.
I did of my genius microphone
yeah.
placement. If you could, please share us with a friend. It would be lovely to get this podcast out to more people. We tried something new this week, and it would be good if you could share this episode and another one so that they can get an idea for what the podcast normally is. And Happy New Year to everyone. It has been a wild year for us.
It's been a cheeky year.
It has been a cheeky year.
Actually, in saying that, get on the socials and tell us your favorite episode from this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Your favorite 2022 episode. I think our most popular episode, full stop, was this year. So,
Which one was the most popular ever? Full stop.
Everest.
Really? Was it?
Mm.
Oh Lord.
I think second is Hatton Garden.
I actually tried to come up with a script for a prequel to the Everest one, but it was so numbers heavy and nerdy that I'm like, nah, it's not going to work.
Look up Mallory,
Mallory.
Mm.
Yeah.
the guy that tried it before.
Before Edmund Hillary
Yeah.
and Tenzing Norgay.
Anyway, that's a free tip.
Another free one is that Sir Edmund Hillary is on the New Zealand $5 note.
Mm.
There you go.
Anyway, that was fun. Good job.
Good night.
Good
night,
night,
everyone.
Good night, podcast world.
What an abrupt ending.
May your dreams be filled with... I can't do that 2 weeks in a row.
Good night.
Good night.